So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel G-Man Aviation. Now in today's video, we are here in our Alaska Airlines A320, and we're just kind of chilling here at about 30,000 feet, and I just now have, I don't know, a little urge to just pull the fire handles. Let's do it. We have now lost both engines. You can see here. But what will we ever do? Now, our little Airbus here is kind of complaining. It says land ASAP. And that might be what we do. Maybe not, though. So our engines have basically fully shut down at this point. We have lost everything. We're here at 20,000 feet. Now, you know, this incident has actually happened in real life, where we had a pilot from Horizon Air on their Embraer E175s. Now, I know that this plane is not that. It is actually the A320, but for the Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is the best I could get close to that. But the person in question was sitting here on the jump seat, and through the flight, while they were just sitting on autopilot, he had the sudden urge to just, like I did, pull these fire handles. Now, luckily, his attempt actually failed, and the pilots actually were able to stop him from doing anything harmful and getting him out of the cockpit. But yes, you do need some force for this. Honestly, you need some force to pull the fire handles in most planes. You know, about I think 40 pounds of force, sometimes differently. But I don't know about the A320. I think the A320 is a little easier. We just kind of pull these. I think we just push them. But nonetheless, it is technically still dangerous and attempt of hijacking, attempt of other things like that. So let's just go check out the actual incident here, where we have our pilot in question, pilot Joseph Emerson here. He was taken into custody and released from his job in Alaska at Alaska Airlines because he tried to cut the plane's engines. The E175's engines right here, you can see in this photo, the E175 engines were attempted to be shut down. Of course, he was not successful with his attempt. The pilots in command actually were able to get him out of the cockpit. But the fire handles in a E175, let's just check it out. So the fire handles of the Embraer E175 look like this here in this image on the side. It has these two big things, and it kind of shows you how to pull them. You know, you just pull them down, and you gotta like kind of twist and then like yank down with more force. So it is a complicated task. It's harder to do than just, it's not the easiest. So this is the actual plane that the attempted engine shutdown that happened on. So yeah, that is one thing that happened. But with these engines here, you can see that they, you know, he apparently in the actual official news report, he did take psychedelic mushrooms for the first time 24 hours before the flight that he was on. Of course, he was not flying the plane, but you can see here he struggled with depression for the past 6 months, and he had taken psychedelic mushrooms about 48 hours before boarding the plane. Now, doing this, he thought he was actually in a dream, and he thought by pulling these fire handles would get him out of the dream. Now, we can see the video, the actual video with the attempted hijack ATC audio. Let's put that up now.
Okay, I'll just give you a heads up. We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit, and he doesn't sound like he's causing any issue in the back right now. I think he's subdued. Other than that, yeah, we want law enforcement as soon as we get on the ground and park.
But yeah, so as you guys saw in that video, they said we have the guy who tried to shut down the engines out of the cockpit now, and he has been subdued and doesn't seem to be causing any problems in the back. Now later in the flight, he did actually attempt to open the emergency exit doors on the left aft side of the aircraft. Of course, that also didn't work, as anyone who is in aviation would know. You can't open emergency exits when you're at 31,000 feet, because the amount of force that you need to use to open that door is much, much harder. Now, like, I want to focus here with this word right here. He was struggling with depression for the last 6 months, and had trouble sleeping and had trouble doing more, things that you kind of need to be a pilot. You need to be more alert, and he wasn't really flying that much before this little jump seat flight from Horizon Air. But as you can also saw in that video, you can see that they also had HJ written over the text in red, and now that stands for hijack, because technically in the United States, anytime you interfere with the flight crew by either anything like that, it now becomes an attempted hijacking, and that's how the air traffic control know that you have a plane that is kind of needing to be more focused on, because it can be hijacked. Now, of course, this pilot did not actually attempt to take control of the plane at all. He just attempted to shut down the engines and make it crash. But he thought, yeah. But this one, he was struggling for depression for the past 6 months. Now, in the aviation world, with air traffic controllers and, pilots, all people like that, they actually lose their license, or they either lose their license or get fired. Well, they get fired, put on leave from their airline, and can never fly again, because just going to even seek help, like going to a counselor, going to anything to help with this depression or help with any other mental issue, it gets you, for some reason, from airlines and the FAA, you're no longer fit to fly. You lose your fit to fly. Now, to get a pilot's license, you need to be fit to fly, which is like a medical thing you get from doctors, which is like eye tests, more tests just to make sure that, mental tests to make sure that you are good and okay to be operating this giant airplane in the sky. Now, just doing that, going to a mental, guidance counselor or anything like that will get you no longer fit to fly, and you will lose your license, you will get fired. Now, I think that is just not the right thing to do, honestly, with the U.S. and the FAA. I think they should definitely reward pilots for, seeking help, or getting, and air traffic controllers to getting help, and just getting, not taking away their license. It just doesn't seem like the right thing, Then you have more instances like this where they try to hide it, and then you have a problem like this where you have a little outbreak, or a problem where you then do it. But I think if planes and airlines and the FAA allowed you to keep flying and people actually seeked help, we'd see these cases less. So that's just my opinion on this. But of course, the FAA takes all the definitely in the United States, takes hijacking and other things like that very seriously. And I understand, because of 9/11 and all those different things with attacks and different hijackings, you want to be safe, keeping planes in the air, not hijacked. So I get this instance. Anytime you interfere with the flight deck crew, flight operations, you will get arrested, and yeah. Even if you're a passenger, it's very serious in the United States and probably other countries too, hijacking a plane and, stealing it. And that's kind of not the biggest uncommon here, sorry. It's not the biggest uncommon thing for Horizon Air. If you guys remember the instance that happened about I believe a few years ago, about I think 2015, 2016, I still remember it. 2018, so it was actually much recenter than I thought. I remember this incident. The 2018 Horizon Air Q400 incident. Now, this is where a 29-year-old Richard Russell had stolen. He was ground crew at Horizon Air, and he stole a Q400 and did many maneuvers that are dangerous to perform in an aircraft like this. And yeah, so there is him again, had mental issues in the air traffic control voice recording again. He said he had a few screws loose, and of course then crashed into a remote island that had no people in it, killing only himself. But more instances like this where, you know, mental issues that could be fixed, you know, can't be with that. I know he is a ground crew, which is still basically the same thing. I don't know if they lose anything with that. That is a little different than air traffic control and pilots, but the same thing. Mental issues that can cause things like this. But the pilot that actually did this attempt, actually, I believe, was charged with 80 counts of attempted murder, which you do not want 80 counts of attempted murder on your record, because, again, it's by every passenger, flight crew on that plane. You get attempted murder for each passenger. So, like, if there's 100 people on that plane, you get 100 attempted murder because he tried to crash this plane and kill everyone. I mean, that's not his point. Like, he thought he was in a dream. He wasn't actually trying to do that, but, you know. It wasn't, of course, now the plane did actually make a successful landing in, again, the engines never shut down. It was safe, but they diverted to Portland, Oregon, where they then had the pilot arrested for interfering with the flight crew and attempted murder. I don't know about attempted hijacking, that might have also been in there, but definitely interfering with the flight crew and plane systems. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and hopefully this was a little educational about how, you know, all this works in the plane community. So this did happen about a month ago, not that recent. There's still news stories about it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, have a great day.